Childhood. A time for laughter and play, but for some, childhood holds a darker truth, a wound that festers unseen. This is the reality of childhood trauma. It leaves no visible scars, yet its impact is profound. Imagine a child, bright and full of life, their laughter echoing through the halls. Now picture that same child, their light dimmed, their laughter silenced. This is the insidious nature of childhood trauma. But even in the darkest of times, hope remains. Childhood trauma casts a long shadow. It can manifest in myriad ways, shaping our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. For some, it leads down a path of struggle. Mental health issues, addiction, troubled relationships. These can become the painful realities. But there's another path, one of resilience. This is the path of overcoming adversity to build a life filled with purpose and meaning. This essay explores both paths, offering insights into the complexities of healing and growth. This is not an easy journey. It requires courage to confront the darkness. By understanding childhood trauma, we can break the cycle of pain. This essay is a call to action for greater awareness and empathy. It's time to break the silence and create a world where every child feels safe. Through personal stories and scientific research, this essay provides a comprehensive look at childhood trauma. Childhood should be a time of wonder, a time for building forts out of blankets, for believing in the magic of fairy tales. A child's world is small, their focus on immediate comfort and security. This innocence is precious, a fragile bubble that shields them from harsh realities. Their days are filled with the simple pleasures of discovery. Trauma doesn't always announce its arrival with a roar. Sometimes it creeps in silently, disguised as neglect or emotional abuse. Other times, trauma explodes into a child's life with the force of a hurricane. Physical and sexual abuse inflict pain that extends far beyond the physical realm. Regardless of its form, trauma disrupts a child's life. It robs them of the opportunity to experience childhood in all its carefree wonder. The impact of trauma on a child's developing brain is profound. Imagine a house being built on unsteady ground. Childhood trauma disrupts the development of key brain regions. The amygdala becomes hyperactive, leading to chronic anxiety. The hippocampus suffers, making it difficult for a child to process experiences. The prefrontal cortex experiences stunted growth, leading to difficulties with emotional regulation. This can affect every aspect of a child's life. Trauma thrives in silence. Children often struggle to find the words to express what has happened to them. They may fear retribution or feel a profound sense of shame. Sometimes the signs of trauma are mistaken for typical childhood behaviors. Misinterpretations can prevent children from receiving the help they need. Breaking the silence is crucial. Creating safe spaces for children to share their stories is essential. This requires adults who are attuned to the subtle signs of trauma. Children may not have the verbal skills to articulate their experiences. Their trauma may manifest in behavioral and emotional changes. They may become clingy, experience nightmares, or regress to earlier developmental stages. Their play may become increasingly sexualized or aggressive. Early intervention is key. Providing children with the opportunity to process their experiences can help them heal. The impact of childhood trauma doesn't disappear in adulthood. The echoes of these early experiences can influence relationships and overall well-being. Adults may struggle with intimacy, trust, and chronic anxiety. They may engage in self-destructive behaviors as a way of coping. However, healing is possible with the right support and therapy. Addressing childhood trauma is not a quick fix. It requires patience, compassion, and belief in the resilience of the human spirit. It's about creating a culture of support and understanding. Educating ourselves about the signs of trauma is crucial. By investing in the well-being of our children, we are investing in the future. Childhood trauma is a full-blown physiological earthquake. Imagine a young nervous system bombarded by stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, norepinephrine. These disrupt a child's developing brain and body. Trauma acts like a relentless storm, uprooting delicate neural pathways. The areas of the brain responsible for emotional regulation and memory are particularly susceptible. This physiological chaos lingers, altering a child's stress response and perception of the world. The amygdala, our ancient alarm system, becomes hypervigilant in a traumatized child. Everyday occurrences can send a wave of panic surging through their body. They are trapped in a perpetual state of fight or flight. This heightened state makes it difficult for a child to engage in learning and play. They may become withdrawn or lash out in anger. Their world shrinks, constricted by their own hyperactive amygdala. The hippocampus plays a crucial role in memory consolidation. Trauma can disrupt this process, leaving memories fragmented and disorganized. For a child, this can make it difficult to process and make sense of their experiences. This disruption can also affect their ability to learn and retain new information. Their academic performance may suffer, not because they lack intelligence, but because their brains are grappling with the aftermath of trauma. They struggle to create order out of chaos. The prefrontal cortex is responsible for higher-order cognitive functions. Trauma can disrupt its development, leaving children ill-equipped to make sound judgments. They may engage in risky behaviors or struggle with addiction. This is not because they are inherently bad, but because their brains are still playing catch-up. They navigate life with compromised decision-making abilities. Trauma's impact is not confined to the hidden recesses of the brain. It reverberates throughout the body, leaving its mark on a child's physical health and well-being. The constant flood of stress hormones can wreak havoc on a developing immune system, making children more susceptible to chronic illnesses like asthma, allergies, and autoimmune disorders. Imagine a fortress under constant siege, its defenses weakened, its walls vulnerable to attack. Their sleep may be disturbed by nightmares, night terrors, and insomnia, leaving them chronically exhausted and unable to function at their best. They may experience digestive problems, headaches, and muscle tension, their bodies carrying the weight of their unseen wounds. The nervous system, stuck in a state of perpetual alert, can manifest in a myriad of physical symptoms, a testament to the interconnectedness of mind and body. These physical symptoms often go unnoticed or are misdiagnosed, leaving children to suffer in silence, their pain dismissed as just growing pains or all in their heads. But the body keeps score, and the lasting effects of trauma can have a profound impact on a child's long-term health and well-being, increasing their risk for chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer later in life. For a child who has experienced trauma, the world can feel like a sensory onslaught, a cacophony of sights, sounds, smells, and textures that overwhelm their nervous system. Every day can feel like a battle against an environment that is too loud, too bright, too chaotic. The sensory input that most people can filter and manage becomes an unrelenting storm for these children, making it difficult for them to find peace and calm. Imagine trying to listen to a symphony while trapped in a wind tunnel. The music distorted, the instruments out of tune, the experience jarring and disorienting. This is often the reality for children with trauma, where even the simplest of sounds can become overwhelming. The constant barrage, sensory information can make it hard for them to focus, to learn, and to engage with the world around them. They may be hypersensitive to certain stimuli like loud noises, bright lights, or certain textures, causing them to withdraw, lash out, or experience a meltdown. These reactions are not just behavioral issues. They are the body's way of trying to protect itself from perceived threats. The nervous system is on high alert, and the child is in constant state of fight or flight. Conversely, they may seek out intense sensory experiences like roughhousing, spinning, or crashing into things as a way to regulate their nervous system and feel more grounded. These activities provide a form of sensory input that can help them feel more in control and connected to their bodies. It's a way for them to find balance in a world that often feels out of control. Their internal sensory systems, responsible for balance, coordination, and body awareness, may also be affected, leading to clumsiness, difficulty with fine motor skills, and a sense of being physically disconnected from their bodies. This can make everyday tasks, like tying shoes or holding a pencil, incredibly challenging. The frustration and embarrassment that come with these difficulties can further impact their self-esteem and willingness to engage in activities. They may struggle with transitions, changes in routine, and unexpected events. Their ability to adapt and cope compromised by their altered sensory experiences. The predictability and structure that many children thrive on can feel like a lifeline to those with trauma, providing a sense of safety and stability in an otherwise unpredictable world. This dysregulation in sensory processing can make everyday activities like getting dressed, eating a meal, or playing with friends feel like monumental challenges. The simple act of putting on clothes can be a sensory nightmare, with fabrics feeling too scratchy or tight. Mealtime can become a battleground, with certain textures and tastes being intolerable. Social interactions can be fraught with misunderstandings and frustrations, making it hard for these children to form and maintain friendships. It can lead to social isolation, behavioral problems, and difficulty with learning and academic achievement. The classroom, which should be a place of learning and growth, can become a source of stress and anxiety. The inability to process sensory information effectively can make it hard to concentrate, follow instructions, and complete tasks, leading to academic struggles and a sense of failure. It's a constant reminder that trauma's impact is not limited to the mind. It permeates every fiber of a child's being, shaping their experience of the world in profound and often invisible ways. Understanding and addressing these sensory challenges is crucial in helping these children heal and thrive. By creating supportive environments and providing appropriate interventions, we can help them navigate their sensory world more effectively and build a foundation for a healthier, more balanced life. Imagine a once vibrant butterfly, its wings battered and torn, forever trapped within the confines of its chrysalis. This is the heartbreaking reality for many who carry the unseen scars of childhood trauma. The child they once were, full of potential and promise, remains frozen in time, their growth stunted, their spirit wounded, their ability to embrace life's fullness compromised. The world, once a canvas of endless possibilities, has become a landscape of fear and distrust. Every interaction, every relationship is filtered through the lens of their past pain. They may struggle to form secure attachments, pushing away those who try to get close, fearing the inevitable pain of rejection or abandonment. The world sees an adult, but beneath the surface, a wounded child resides, their needs unmet, their cries for help unanswered. Their voice, once filled with laughter and song, is now muted, silenced by the weight of their unspoken pain. They move through life carrying the heavy chains of their past, their steps hesitant, their hearts guarded. Imagine looking at the world through a pair of glasses smeared with mud and grime. Every image is blurry, distorted, lacking clarity and definition. This is the reality for many who carry the weight of unresolved childhood trauma. Their perception of themselves, others, and the world around them is skewed, filtered through the lens of their early experiences. They may struggle with feelings of worthlessness and shame, believing deep down that they are inherently flawed, undeserving of love and happiness. Their inner critic, a relentless voice fueled by the echoes of past abuse and neglect, whispers insidious lies, eroding their self-esteem, sabotaging their efforts, and keeping them trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and self-sabotage. They may misinterpret the actions and intentions of others, perceiving threats where none exist. Their hypervigilance, a constant reminder of their past traumas. They may be quick to anger, their rage a defense mechanism, a way of protecting themselves from further hurt and disappointment. Healthy relationships, the lifeblood of human connection and well-being, can feel like a treacherous minefield for those whose lives have been touched by childhood trauma. Trust, the foundation upon which intimacy is built, can feel like a foreign concept, a fragile bridge they're terrified to cross. They may crave closeness and connection, yet their fear of vulnerability, their terror of repeating the patterns of the past, keeps them at arm's length, their hearts shielded by walls of armor, impenetrable, yet isolating. They may find themselves drawn to partners who mirror the dynamics of their early relationships, unconsciously seeking to heal their past wounds through repetition compulsion, only to find themselves reliving the same painful patterns. Communication, the lifeblood of any healthy relationship, can become fraught with misunderstandings. Their ability to express their needs and desires hampered by their fear of judgment or rejection. They may struggle to articulate their feelings, their words tangled in a web of unspoken pain and fear, leaving their loved ones feeling frustrated, confused, and emotionally drained. Imagine a world where pain is held at bay, where the sharp edges of trauma are dulled, where the constant hum of anxiety is replaced by a seductive silence. This is the allure of addiction, a dangerous dance with oblivion that promises temporary solace from the relentless grip of the past. Drugs, alcohol, food, sex, gambling, these become the tools of self-medication, a desperate attempt to numb the pain, silence the inner critic, and escape the unbearable weight of their own existence. The initial euphoria, the brief respite from their inner turmoil, is a siren song, luring them deeper into the abyss. But addiction is a cruel mistress, offering temporary relief while tightening its grip, demanding ever-increasing doses to achieve the same effect. What begins as a coping mechanism, a way to survive the unbearable, becomes a prison of its own making, isolating them further, eroding their health, destroying their relationships, and extinguishing the light of hope that still flickers within. The body, that intricate tapestry of interconnected systems, keeps score. It remembers the traumas, the abuses, the neglect, even when the conscious mind tries to bury them deep within the recesses of the subconscious. And it rebels. Chronic pain, autoimmune disorders, digestive issues, migraines, insomnia. These are just a few of the ways the body cries out for attention. Its language, a symphony of aches, pains, and dysfunctions that defy traditional medical explanations. The nervous system, stuck in a perpetual state of fight or flight, wreaks havoc on the body's delicate balance, leaving it vulnerable to a host of physical and emotional ailments. The connection between mind and body is undeniable. The wounds of the past, if left unaddressed, can manifest in a myriad of physical symptoms. A constant reminder that healing is not merely an emotional or psychological pursuit, but a holistic journey that encompasses the entirety of one's being. Childhood trauma, like a thief in the night, steals more than just innocence. It robs individuals of their potential, their ability to dream big, to set goals, and to pursue their passions with unwavering confidence. The world, once a place of limitless possibilities, can shrink to a narrow path defined by fear, self-doubt, and the heavy weight of expectation. Opportunities, once embraced with open arms, are now met with hesitation, their inner critic whispering insidious doubts, their fear of failure paralyzing them before they even take the first step. They may settle for less than they deserve, their self-sabotaging behaviors keeping them trapped in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, and lives that feel devoid of purpose or meaning. Their talents, their gifts, their unique contributions to the world may remain dormant, hidden beneath layers of pain, fear, and unfulfilled potential. The tragedy of unlived dreams, of opportunities missed, of a life half-lived, is a heartbreaking testament to the insidious and far-reaching impact of childhood trauma. Section 7. The cycle of repetition. Traumas echo through generations. Trauma, like a virus, has a way of replicating itself, its insidious code passed down from one generation to the next, infecting families, communities, and even entire societies. Children who grow up in homes where trauma is present, whether witnessed firsthand or absorbed through the unspoken language of pain and dysfunction, are at an increased risk of perpetuating the cycle, their own lives becoming a heartbreaking echo of their parents' struggles. They may lack healthy coping mechanisms, their emotional vocabulary limited to the patterns of behavior they witnessed growing up. They may struggle to break free from the roles they were assigned in their families of origin, their sense of self defined by the expectations and limitations imposed upon them. This is not to say that change is impossible. With awareness, support, and a willingness to confront the wounds of the past, individuals can break free from the chains of intergenerational trauma, rewriting their family narratives and creating a legacy of healing and resilience for generations to come. Section 8. A glimmer of hope. The potential for healing and change. Even in the darkest of nights, a single star can light the way. This star represents the resilience and strength that lies within each of us, waiting to be discovered and nurtured. Despite the profound and far-reaching impact of childhood trauma, healing is possible. It is a journey that requires patience, dedication, and a willingness to face the shadows of the past. But with the right support and resources, individuals can find their way back to a place of wholeness and peace. It is a journey, not a destination, a process of reclaiming one's voice, one's power, and one's inherent worthiness. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Each moment of clarity and self-compassion is a beacon of hope. Therapy, with its safe and supportive space for exploration and processing, can provide invaluable tools for understanding the impact of trauma. It allows individuals to unravel the complex emotions and memories that have been buried deep within, offering a path to healing and self-discovery. Developing healthy coping mechanisms and rewriting the negative self-talk that keeps individuals trapped in a cycle of pain and self-sabotage are crucial steps in this journey. These practices empower individuals to take control of their narrative and build a foundation of self-love and acceptance. Support groups with their shared experiences and sense of community can offer a lifeline. They provide a space where individuals can connect with others who understand their struggles, fostering a sense of belonging and mutual support. A reminder that no one has to walk this path alone. The collective strength and wisdom of a supportive community can be a powerful catalyst for healing and growth. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation and yoga, can help regulate the nervous system. These practices encourage individuals to be present in the moment, to breathe deeply, and to connect with their inner selves, calming the mind and fostering a deeper connection with the body, creating a sense of inner peace and grounding. These moments of tranquility can be a refuge from the chaos of the world, offering a space for reflection and renewal. The journey of healing from childhood trauma is not for the faint of heart. It is a path that demands courage, resilience, and an unwavering belief in the possibility of transformation. Each challenge faced and overcome is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. It requires courage, resilience, and an unwavering belief in the possibility of transformation. The rewards of this journey are immeasurable, offering a life lived with greater authenticity and purpose. But the rewards are immeasurable. A life lived with greater authenticity, deeper connection, and an unshakable knowing that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, there is hope and potential for a brighter future. Deeper connection and an unshakable knowing that even in the face of unimaginable adversity, the human spirit can rise, heal, and ultimately thrive. This journey is a testament to the resilience and strength that lies within each of us. The human spirit can rise, heal, and ultimately thrive. Embrace the journey, for it is through the trials and tribulations that we discover our true selves and the boundless potential for healing and change. Section 1. Seeds of Resilience, the Spark Within. Even amidst the ruins of a childhood shattered by trauma, a spark of resilience often flickers, a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. This inner strength, though often buried beneath layers of pain and fear, can be cultivated, nurtured, and ultimately become the driving force behind a remarkable journey of healing and transformation. Imagine a tiny seed buried deep within the earth, seemingly dormant, yet harboring the potential for life, growth, and beauty. This seed of resilience may manifest as a deep-seated determination to break free from the cycle of pain, a refusal to let the past define the future, a glimmer of hope that whispers, "There's more to life than this." It may be a natural inclination towards empathy and compassion, a heightened sensitivity to the suffering of others, a desire to make a difference in the world. It may be a creative spark, a passion for art, music, writing, or dance, a way to channel pain into expression, to find solace and healing through creative outlets. The journey towards healing from childhood trauma is rarely linear. It's often a winding path filled with twists, turns, and unexpected detours. Yet for many, there comes a turning point, a moment of clarity when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change. This pivotal moment may be triggered by a crisis, a rock bottom that forces a reckoning with the past. It may be a gradual awakening, a growing awareness that something needs to shift. It may be as simple as a chance encounter, a conversation, a book, or a song that plants a seed of hope, a whisper of possibility that ignites a desire for something more. The decision to embark on a journey of healing is a courageous one. It requires facing down deeply ingrained fears, challenging long-held beliefs, and risking the unknown. It's a commitment to oneself, a declaration that I am worthy of healing. I deserve to live a life free from the shackles of my past. No one heals in isolation. The journey towards wholeness requires connection, support, and the unwavering belief of others who have walked a similar path. Finding safe harbors along the way, spaces where vulnerability is met with compassion and judgment is replaced with understanding, is essential for navigating the often turbulent waters of trauma recovery. Therapy, with its confidential and non-judgmental space, can provide a lifeline, a sanctuary where individuals can safely explore their past, process their pain, and begin to rewrite the narratives that have kept them stuck. A skilled therapist can act as a guide, a compassionate witness, and a source of unwavering support as individuals navigate the complex terrain of trauma recovery. Support groups, with their shared experiences and sense of community, offer a powerful reminder that no one has to walk this path alone. Connecting with others who have faced similar challenges, who understand the nuances of trauma's impact, can foster a sense of belonging, hope, and the courage to keep moving forward. Imagine embarking on an expedition into uncharted territory, a landscape as beautiful as it is treacherous. This is the terrain of therapy, a journey of self-discovery, emotional excavation, and ultimately profound healing. Therapy provides a safe and structured environment to delve into the root causes of trauma's impact, to understand how early experiences have shaped beliefs, behaviors, and patterns of relating to oneself and others. It's a process of unearthing buried emotions, of giving voice to long-silenced pain, and of challenging the negative self-talk that keeps individuals trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and self-sabotage. Through various therapeutic modalities, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and somatic experiencing, individuals can learn to identify and manage their triggers, develop healthy coping mechanisms, and rewire their brains for resilience and emotional regulation. It's a process of reclaiming one's power, of rewriting the narratives that have held them captive, and of stepping into a future free from the shackles of the past. Section 5, Reclaiming the Body, Movement, Mindfulness, and Somatic Healing. Trauma is not just a mental or emotional experience, it's held within the very cells of our bodies. The fight or flight response triggered by trauma leaves its imprint on our nervous systems, our muscles, our breath, and our ability to feel safe and connected to ourselves. Somatic healing modalities such as yoga, dance therapy, and mindfulness practices provide powerful tools for re-inhabiting the body, for releasing the grip of trauma's hold, and for cultivating a sense of safety, grounding, and well-being. Movement in its many forms can help to discharge trapped energy, release muscular tension, and reestablish a sense of agency and control. Mindfulness practices such as meditation and breath work cultivate present moment awareness, helping to calm the nervous system, reduce anxiety, and create a space of inner peace and stillness. By learning to listen to the body's wisdom, to honor its messages, and to provide it with the care and attention it needs, individuals can begin to heal the fragmentation caused by trauma and reclaim a sense of wholeness and embodied presence. Section 6. The Courage to Connect. Building Healthy Relationships. One of the most profound casualties of childhood trauma is often the ability to form and maintain healthy, trusting relationships. The fear of vulnerability, the terror of repeating past patterns of abuse or neglect can create an invisible barrier, keeping others at arm's length, perpetuating a cycle of isolation and loneliness. Building healthy relationships requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to challenge, the deeply ingrained beliefs about oneself and others that stem from early traumatic experiences. It's about learning to identify red flags, to set boundaries, and to choose partners who are emotionally safe, supportive, and capable of reciprocating love and respect. It's about developing healthy communication skills, learning to express needs and desires assertively, and cultivating the ability to navigate conflict constructively. It's about understanding that vulnerability, though often perceived as a weakness, is actually the birthplace of connection, intimacy, and true belonging. Section 7. Finding Purpose and Meaning. Transforming pain into passion. For many who have walked the path of trauma recovery, there comes a point when the desire to simply survive gives way to a yearning for something more. a longing to find meaning and purpose in their experiences, to transform their pain into something positive, something that can make a difference in the world. This desire to turn their wounds into wisdom, their struggles into strengths, can manifest in myriad ways. Some may find solace in creative expression, channeling their experiences into art, music, writing, or other forms of artistic expression. Others may discover a passion for advocacy, dedicating themselves to raising awareness about trauma, supporting other survivors, or fighting for social justice. Still others may find meaning in their professional lives, choosing careers that allow them to help others, to heal, to teach, or to make a tangible difference in the world. The journey from surviving to thriving often involves finding one's voice, embracing one's unique gifts, and using those gifts to create a ripple effect of healing, hope, and inspiration in the world. As individuals heal from childhood trauma, they become beacons of hope, living proof that it is possible to overcome adversity, to break free from the chains of the past, and to create a life filled with purpose, meaning, and connection. Their stories, often shared with courage, vulnerability, and a deep desire to help others, have the power to inspire, to empower, and to ignite a spark of hope in those who are still struggling. By sharing their journeys, they challenge the stigma surrounding mental health, creating a space for more open and honest conversations about trauma's impact. They become role models for other survivors, demonstrating that healing is possible, that vulnerability is a strength, and that it is never too late to reclaim one's life. Their resilience, their determination, and their unwavering belief in the possibility of transformation become a beacon of light, illuminating the path for others to follow. And as they heal, they create a ripple effect, spreading hope, compassion, and understanding throughout their families, communities, and the world at large. The past, as they say, is never truly past. It lingers in the shadows, a phantom limb, a half-remembered dream that refuses to fade away completely. For many, these shadows are not just memories, but living, breathing entities that shape their present and future. For those who have walked the path of childhood trauma, even after years of therapy, self-work, and conscious healing, the ghosts of those early experiences can still surface. These ghosts are often triggered by seemingly innocuous sights, sounds, smells, or situations that reawaken the echoes of pain and fear, making the past feel vividly present. Imagine a soldier returning home from war, the battlefield behind them, yet the memories, the nightmares, the hypervigilance, still very much alive. The mind and body, conditioned by the trauma, react to the world as if the danger is still imminent. A car backfiring might sound like gunfire, a raised voice, a prelude to violence, a certain scent, a portal back to a place of terror. These triggers, often illogical to the conscious mind, are the nervous system's way of trying to protect, of keeping us safe from a perceived threat, even if that threat is a phantom from the past. The nervous system, in its attempt to shield us, can sometimes become our own worst enemy, trapping us in a cycle of fear and hypervigilance. This is why understanding and managing triggers is crucial for healing. Learning to navigate a world riddled with potential triggers is a delicate dance, a constant process of self-awareness, emotional regulation, and self-compassion. It's about recognizing the triggers, acknowledging their power, and developing healthy coping mechanisms to manage the emotional and physiological responses they evoke. It's about learning to soothe the nervous system, to calm the inner storm, and to gently remind ourselves that we are safe, we are strong, and we are no longer defined by the traumas of our past. This journey is not linear. It requires patience, persistence, and a deep commitment to self-care. Each trigger, each moment of fear is an opportunity to practice resilience, to reaffirm our strength, and to reclaim our sense of safety. It's about building a new relationship with our past, one where we acknowledge its impact but refuse to let it dictate our future. The journey of healing is deeply personal and unique to each individual. It involves not just the mind, but the body and spirit as well. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, and therapy can be invaluable tools in this process, helping to ground us in the present and reduce the power of past traumas. It's about creating a safe space within ourselves, a sanctuary where we can retreat and find peace. This inner sanctuary becomes our refuge, a place where we can process our emotions and heal our wounds. As we continue on this path, we learn to trust ourselves more, to believe in our capacity to heal and grow. We become more attuned to our needs and more compassionate towards our struggles. In this journey, we are not alone. There are countless others who walk this path, each with their own stories of pain and resilience. Together, we can support and uplift each other, sharing our experiences and offering hope. It's about recognizing the triggers, acknowledging their power, and developing healthy coping mechanisms to manage the emotional and physiological responses they evoke. It's about learning to soothe the nervous system, to calm the inner storm, and to gently remind ourselves that we are safe, we are strong, and we are no longer defined by the traumas of our past. It's about learning to soothe the nervous system, to calm the inner storm, and to gently remind ourselves that we are safe, we are strong, and we are no longer defined by the traumas of our past. It's about learning to soothe the nervous system, to calm the inner storm, and to gently remind ourselves that we are safe, we are strong, and we are no longer defined by the traumas of our past. And to gently remind ourselves that we are safe, we are strong, and we are no longer defined by the traumas of our past. And we are no longer defined by the traumas of our past. Intimacy, that delicate dance of vulnerability, trust, and surrender, can feel like a minefield for those whose hearts bear the invisible wounds of childhood trauma. The fear of being hurt, rejected, or abandoned can loom large, casting a long shadow over even the most well-intentioned attempts at connection. Imagine trying to build a house on a foundation riddled with cracks and fissures. Every step forward feels tenuous, every tremor a threat to the entire structure. Trust, that essential building block of intimacy, can feel elusive, terrifying even, for those whose early experiences have taught them that love can be conditional, fleeting, or worse, a weapon used to inflict pain. Navigating intimacy with the scars of trauma requires patience, compassion, and a willingness to communicate openly and honestly with our partners. It's about setting healthy boundaries, honoring our own needs and limitations, and understanding that healing happens in layers, not overnight. It's about learning to trust ourselves, to trust our instincts, and to believe that we are worthy of love, even with our imperfections and our past pain. The body, that intricate tapestry of interconnected systems, has a long memory. It stores the echoes of our experiences, the traumas, the stresses, the joys, and the sorrows within its very cells. For those who have endured childhood trauma, the body often bears the brunt of the burden, manifesting the legacy of past pain in the form of chronic illness, autoimmune disorders, digestive issues, chronic fatigue, and persistent pain. Imagine a car that's been driven too hard, too fast, for too long. The engine sputters, the brakes squeal, the tires wear thin. Similarly, a body that's been in a perpetual state of fight or flight, flooded with stress hormones, can begin to break down, its systems out of balance, its energy depleted, its ability to heal compromised. Addressing chronic pain and illness through the lens of trauma requires a holistic approach, one that acknowledges the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit. It's about learning to listen to the body's whispers, to decipher its language of discomfort, and to respond with compassion and care. It's about exploring alternative healing modalities such as acupuncture, massage, therapy, yoga, and mindfulness practices that can help to soothe the nervous system, reduce inflammation, and restore the body's innate capacity for healing. One of the most powerful motivators for healing from childhood trauma is the desire to break the cycle, to create a different legacy for our own children, to offer them the love, safety, and security that we may not have received. Yet parenting with the wounds of the past can be a complex and challenging endeavor. Imagine trying to teach someone to swim when you yourself are barely staying afloat. The fear of drowning, of repeating the patterns of our own upbringing, can loom large, threatening to pull us under. We may find ourselves overreacting to our children's emotions, projecting our own unresolved issues onto their behavior, or struggling to set healthy boundaries out of fear of replicating the dynamics of our past. Parenting from a place of healing requires conscious effort, self-awareness, and a willingness to do our own inner work. It's about seeking support from therapists, parenting coaches, or support groups that specialize in trauma-informed parenting practices. It's about learning to regulate our own emotions, to respond to our children with empathy and understanding, and to create a home environment that is safe, nurturing, and emotionally attuned to their needs. One of the most remarkable aspects of the human spirit is its capacity for transformation, its ability to find meaning and purpose even in the face of unimaginable adversity. For many who have walked the path of childhood trauma, the journey of healing becomes a catalyst for profound personal growth, leading to a deeper understanding of themselves, a heightened sense of empathy and compassion for others, and a passionate desire to make a difference in the world. Imagine a piece of coal subjected to intense heat and pressure, transformed into a brilliant, multifaceted diamond. Similarly, the experiences that once threatened to break us can become the very things that make us stronger, more resilient, and more connected to our own humanity and the suffering of others. The pain we have endured can become a source of wisdom, guiding us towards careers in healing professions, social work, advocacy, or creative arts, where we can use our experiences to support others, to raise awareness, and to advocate for change. Our vulnerability, once a source of shame, can become a bridge of connection, allowing us to relate to others with greater empathy, understanding, and compassion. Healing from childhood trauma is not about erasing the past, forgetting the pain, or achieving some idealized state of perfect wholeness. It's about learning to embrace our imperfections, to accept the messy, complicated, and often contradictory nature of our human experience. It's about recognizing that we are works in progress, capable of both incredible strength and profound vulnerability. Imagine a tapestry woven from threads of different colors, textures, and weights. Some threads are smooth and vibrant, while others are rough, knotted, or faded with time, yet together, they create a unique and beautiful whole, a testament to the richness and complexity of life's journey. Self-compassion is the gentle hand that guides us on this journey, reminding us to be kind to ourselves, to forgive our mistakes, and to celebrate our progress no matter how small. It's about recognizing that we are doing the best we can with the tools we have, and that even on the darkest of days, we are worthy of love, acceptance, and support. It's about embracing the fullness of who we are, scars and all, and recognizing that our imperfections are not flaws, but rather the very things that make us unique, resilient, and beautifully human. The journey through childhood trauma is a testament to the enduring strength of the human spirit. It's a journey fraught with challenges, setbacks, and moments of profound despair. Yet even amidst the ruins of a childhood shattered by adversity, a spark of resilience persists, a flicker of hope that refuses to be extinguished. The unseen scars may remain, etched upon the fabric of our being, but they do not define us. They are not signs of weakness, but rather testaments to our capacity for survival, adaptation, and ultimately transformation. Like ancient trees that have weathered countless storms bearing the marks of each gust and gale, we too carry the imprints of our experiences. Our scars tell a story, a narrative of resilience, of overcoming obstacles, of emerging from the darkness stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected to the preciousness of life. They are reminders of our inherent strength, our capacity for growth, and our ability to find beauty and meaning even in the face of unimaginable pain. Healing from childhood trauma is not a destination, but a journey, a lifelong process of self-discovery, compassion, and growth. It's a journey that requires immense courage, a willingness to face the darkness within, to shine a light on the hidden corners of our pain, and to embrace the messy, imperfect, and often uncomfortable process of transformation. It's about learning to befriend ourselves, to offer ourselves the same kindness and understanding we would extend to a loved one struggling through a difficult time. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It demands unwavering self-compassion, a gentle hand to guide us through the inevitable moments of self-doubt, fear, and resistance. It requires us to cultivate a supportive inner landscape, a space where we can grieve our losses, honor our pain, and celebrate our victories, no matter how small. It's about learning to trust the wisdom of our bodies, the whispers of our intuition, and the unwavering belief that we are worthy of healing, love, and a life filled with joy, meaning, and connection. The journey of healing from childhood trauma is often a solitary one, shrouded in silence, shame, and a fear of judgment. Yet when we find the courage to break our silence, to share our stories, we discover that we are not alone. We realize that our experiences, though unique in their details, are connected by a shared thread of human vulnerability, resilience, and the profound capacity for healing. By breaking the silence, we chip away at the stigma surrounding mental health, creating space for more open and honest conversations about trauma's impact. We pave the way for others to step forward, to share their own stories, and to find solace in the realization that they are not broken, flawed, or unworthy of love and belonging. We build bridges of understanding, compassion, and empathy, reminding ourselves and one another that healing is possible, that vulnerability is a strength, and that together we can create a world where no one has to suffer in silence, As we embark on our own journeys of healing, we become agents of change, not just in our own lives, but also in the world around us. We begin to see the world through a different lens, one that recognizes the pervasive impact of trauma, the interconnectedness of our experiences, and the urgent need for greater compassion, understanding, and support. We become more attuned to the suffering of others, more aware of the subtle ways in which trauma manifests, and more committed to creating a world where every child feels safe, seen, and empowered to reach their full potential. We can choose to channel our experiences, our pain, and our hard-won wisdom into acts of service, advocacy, and creative expression. We can become teachers, healers, artists, writers, activists, and compassionate listeners, sharing our stories, our insights, and our unwavering belief in the transformative power of healing. By healing ourselves, we contribute to the healing of the world, one heart, one mind, one community at a time. Let us move forward together with courage, compassion, and an unshakable belief in our collective capacity to create a brighter, more just, and more compassionate world for ourselves, for our children, and for generations to